Albinder Dhindsa is a very happy man. But what are these reasons behind his happiness? We're here to find out more. Joining us in conversation with Mr. Albinder Dhindsa, co-founder Grofers. Thank you so much for joining in. Grofers One Number, which was a separate department for Grofers, kind of merged, is what you said before this. Right. Wanted to understand what were the dynamics which went behind that.
We had actually tried an experiment where we decided to rename our entire delivery ecosystem as One Number,
right,
to differentiate it from our consumer ecosystem.
Right.
But we basically realized that that was too complicated and too difficult for people to understand what was going on. So we just renamed it back to Grofers.
So, there are speculations now in the market about Spoonjoy being hired in Town Rush. How correct are these speculations, and what is next with Grofers after these acquisitions?
So I think we acquired Spoonjoy's team more to sort of help us build Grofers,
right,
rather than, we have no intention of going into the food delivery business or the vertical,
right,
restaurant business. I mean, 2.5 years ago, I think we experimented with it when we were a delivery-only service. Right. We tried to deliver for restaurants. We realized that that's not really a business we want to be in. Mm-hmm. So we concentrate on product delivery, making sure that we're working with enough local merchants across different categories. Mm-hmm. So recently we launched like sports goods and home equipment and electronics, electrical appliances. Mm-hmm. So we launched a lot of these categories that we think are what is going to be the future of Grofers. But food is not on the roadmap.
So what were the dynamics of it? Was it like, how was the whole thing gone about? Was it, how much was the deal size and all of that, if you could tell us more about it?
So actually, I mean, they were acquihires basically, which basically means that the entire team comes over and joins Grofers. They and we sort of, just give them ESOPs and salaries and whatnot. And but there is sort of no transaction as such.
Right, right. So was Town Rush also acquired?
So Town Rush, only a couple of people have joined us from Town Rush.
Right, yeah. But that's also for operational capabilities.
But both of them are in tech. So that's all we got from Town Rush.
But with so much of investments being raised by Grofers, was there like ever a buffer which you kind of thought was there for you to raise the necessary amount of money which was required?
No, actually, it was not for experimentation. We knew sort of exactly what we had to build. Right. I think once we sort of raised our first round, we were doing actually really, really well. And I think we just wanted to have the comfort of not having to go into the market again to raise for quite some time.
Right.
And sort of the reigning philosophy should be that, if you're in a very, very competitive market, if you're able to raise capital at good terms, then you should do it rather than sort of having to do it in a tougher market, basically.
Right. But then are you looking at raising more capital in the future right now?
I mean, we will.
Okay. So in the next 6 months is when we can imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? Will it be existing investors, or, you talks with other investors as well?
We'll find out soon enough.
Right, right. Also, I want to understand from you, with the current slowdown which is going down, so is Grofers having a good time, right, with the food delivery startups kind of like decreasing their pace right now when it comes to traction? Do you think companies like Grofers can get a traction out of it?
So I think, this is a good time to build a business. Like your customer acquisition costs go down because there's less competition for the same consumer.
Sure, yeah.
Especially when you're in categories where early adopters are still sort of driving most of the business. Mm-hmm. And you also sort of start seeing impact along sort of getting good talent in the market, right, getting talent at a reasonable price. So I think it's a good environment to run the business, right, because this is a time when you consolidate and you actually build your core capabilities, and you actually get the headroom to sort of do it and establish yourself in the market.
But will Grofers be looking at other acquisitions also now, since there's a slowdown?
I think we'll be as opportunistic about it as we have been so far. We are sort of building a business in there which there are not a lot of sort of preceding businesses that are already there. So business acquisitions don't really make sense for us. Right. But sort of, if we like a team that we think sort of getting the entire team itself is going to be of some value, and that is what most of our acquisitions so far have been about, we'll definitely do it.
Right, but only from an operational perspective is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right, okay, all right. Thank you so much, Albinder, for joining us today on the show.
Thank you so much.
Online shopping can be quite tricky compared to an offline store where you can pick and choose your complete look. That's the solution Woopler, a fashion discovery app, is trying to solve.
And I feel it everywhere I go in India, which has now been Mumbai and Bangalore, where I think the ecosystem is just really taking off. And you've got what I consider the cores, right? You've got mentorship,